Okay, well, welcome. This is the first of many videos, hopefully, that we'll be shooting over the course of this year's Mint Forum in New Orleans. And today we have Bill Miller, of course, who just gave a wonderful plenary talk to all of us, something that is sort of an annual event that we all look forward to, hearing what your thoughts are about MI and the direction of MI. And that's, of course, available to all Minties who wish to hear it again. If you were here, if you were present, or if you weren't here, then you can find it elsewhere. One thing we wanted to ask you, Bill, is you often mention or occasionally mention what it's like to see the Mint grow and kind of year after year, seeing all the people and all the energy and all the changes that are happening. I wonder if you could say a few words about that.
Well, it's just astonishing to me. I mean, it's so far beyond anything I imagined back in 1983 or even 91 that there would be this degree of interest in this around the world. And Mint is a wonderful organization. It runs itself now. I mean, Steve and I have very little to do with it. I just love coming and being part of the community here. It's like any member of this organization could be a friend, Yeah.
So in some ways, taking what you were saying today at the plenary, that you've seen the growth from the early days, where you yourself didn't necessarily see the potential of the publication of the original paper.
Oh no!
But here we are. So at a time where it is now a worldwide phenomena, and the Mint is running itself. So it's almost like you're watching your family fly the nest.
That's right.
Yeah, and I wonder what it is you hope for everyone that practices motivation doing, that trains motivation doing. As you look at us now at the forum, what are your hopes for us?
I guess I hope the overall impact is humanizing services, healthcare services, and behavioral health, and dental and physical therapy, and amidst all kinds of human services, are delivered in a more person-centered, humane way. And 3,000 people have been through this training for trainers now, which is amazing.
Wow.
And from at least 52 countries. So what we're looking at really is something that's about human nature, I think, not a specialist technique, but a way of being with people.
Right, that seems to be such a consistent message. I feel like that's coming through recently of just trying to get at what's just the basic essence of not just what MI is, but what's actually helpful to people, and whether you call it MI or CBT or whatever it might be.
Yes.
Ultimately, there's something underneath all of that is just genuinely helpful for people.
Yes, yeah.
Right.
What is it that makes a good helping relationship? And it's something much larger than just this specific piece that we call motivational interviewing.
And if people leave here practicing that, it sounds like we should, whether they're practicing motivational interviewing, whether they're practicing CBT, whether they're practicing whatever else, if they have that in place, then chances are what they're doing is helpful for the people they're encountering.
Yes, it's much more helpful to do what you do in an empathic way, in a way that respects the person's autonomy and is interested in their perspective and understanding how they experience the world. Yeah.
Wonderful. Just wondering, people may be interested in some things that you're doing now. You're obviously very active in various pursuits. What is maybe a recent interest or recent project that you're on that people might be interested in hearing about?
Besides writing choral music, which I'm enjoying doing, reading Shorrock's and Kharkov really moved me, and so Terry Moyers and I are writing basically that book 50 years later. What do we know about what makes a good therapist or a good helper, and just trying to pull together those pieces that include acceptance and empathy and genuineness. But we know more than that now, so a larger picture than that. So that's one thing. Steve, Terry, and I have just finished up filming for an online introduction to motivational interviewing, because just to try to capture on digital format the way we teach this. Right. I don't know how much longer the three of us will be doing this, but we thought, it's time to put this on film. So we've done that and have enjoyed both those projects.
Wow, exciting.
Yeah, but so there's a real development of legacy and,
Yes.
and a standard offering. Here's what we've discovered over the last 30 years, and
That's right.
It's
That's-
crystallizing at this point.
And that's how it feels.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah. So I imagine there's a lot of pride in your experience of right now that.
Or
what it is.
gratitude.
Gratitude. Lovely.
And
Lovely.
I mean, it's been like riding a wave that I didn't create, you know,
Right.
but just experiencing what is happening with this around the world is wonderful. And I think nowhere is that more apparent than in the Mint organization.
Lovely. And given the emphasis that you were describing today about the empathy, for people who are listening or people who are watching today, is there anything in particular that you've identified that can help people to enhance their ability to be more empathic when they're working with people or in their way of being? with
Sure.
others?
Well, empathy can mean a lot of things, and does mean a lot of things. But what Steve and Terry and I mean when we're talking about it is what Carl Rogers meant by it, which is a very identifiable, measurable, learnable, observable skill. And that when it's present, just makes it more likely that people will make positive changes in their lives. So it's not necessarily feeling the same thing as the person. That might happen, but that's not essential. You know, it's not sympathy. It really is that practicing this particular skill, which is learnable for many folks. Yeah.
Right, and it requires practice,
Well,
which
yes.
is a key
Yeah.
part of all these skills that we're trying to develop.
I'm still practicing. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, we very much appreciate this humility that you bring in a very genuine way to the work, and even Glenn's question of pride, and it's really gratitude, and the idea that we're still practicing. That's all we're doing. We haven't achieved some final state of skill development or something. It's still something that's kind of always
Work in progress.
absolutely. Yeah.
What I like about humility is the truth.
Right. Yeah. It's as simple as that.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's nothing, you don't have to make this stuff up. If you're being honest, others potentially will experience as a humility on your part, but that's not what it is you're trying to offer. It's simply speaking to the truth from the truth.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Well, Bill, thank you again for giving us your time. For everybody that watching, I'm
Pleasure.
sure they really
Yeah.
appreciate it. We often ask people on the podcast whether people who are listening can contact you, but I imagine you're getting emails from every side of the world, and maybe it's just a case of inviting people to go to your website. If you have a Facebook page, not a Facebook page, maybe a YouTube channel or whatever. If people wanted to follow you without pestering you, how would they do that?
I'm not on any social media.
Okay.
I mean, there are YouTube things that
Sure.
other people have done that are out there.
Okay.
But no, I get lots of email. I try to answer it all.
Okay.
So how would people contact you then? What would be a preferred email, maybe?
It's the same one I've had for 42 years.
Okay.
Which is WR.Miller at UNM.edu, University of New Mexico.
Okay.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Bill,
Thank you
for
very
your
much.
time.
Appreciate it.
Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Cheers.